Hey guys, so before we get into our episode tonight, we in the Cineverse want to express our deepest sympathies to those affected by the tragedy in Colorado this week.
Our thoughts and prayers are with all the victims and their families, and we wish you guys all a speedy recovery.
If you make yourself more than just a man, if you devote yourself to an ideal, then you become something else entirely. A legend, Mr. Wayne. A legend.
We were in this together. And then you were gone. Now this evil rising. The Batman has to come back.
What if he doesn't exist anymore?
He must. He must.
Hey guys, welcome back to the box office. Now you may wonder who I am. My name is Adam, and I am the web developer for the Cineverse. And the reason I'm here today is because ever since we went to Comic-Con last weekend, we've received a ton of questions regarding The Dark Knight Rises, and we're here today in this format to address those questions.
What's up, y'all?
Hello.
Box office time. Cineverse.
Okay.
Cineverse.
Okay, we plugged ourselves. Great.
Hey.
Well done. Well done.
Watch us.
So the first question that everybody asks,
Everybody.
everybody,
Everybody.
yeah, my mother too, is where is she?
Where are they? Swear to me.
Where is it?
Rachel! Oh, Christian Bale just screaming this all
He
the
loves
time.
it. He loves it.
He's a growl.
I need some water.
A Borat.
You're an amateur!
All right, but more seriously,
Oh, why so serious?
boom. I just don't.
I just
know.
can't stop, won't stop, you know.
Please stop.
Don't hate.
So, people just want to know how The Dark Knight Rises stacks up against The Dark Knight.
Everybody asks that question. Like,
Everybody.
when we were seeing the movie, people would
Yes.
say, hey, what do you think about this?
I was sitting there watching.
So Dark
it.
Knight?
What?
Well, yeah,
Like-
coming out of the movie, he's like, was this as good as Dark Knight, guys? Come on.
It's an unfair
It's
question.
not
I'll be
that
honest with
simple.
you.
It
Guys,
truly
like,
is.
it's an unfair question for the simple reason that The Dark Knight is a gem. The Dark Knight is a gem that cannot be recreated ever. So stacking this film, which was fabulous, Dark Knight Rises
Yeah,
was
The Dark Knight
fabulous,
Rises was
stacking
fantastic.
it up against The Dark Knight is unfair. It's unfair. I know some people can't help but to do it, but
Yeah.
it's unfair. I say you do yourself a disservice by going in there with that expectation. Just enjoy the movie.
Yeah, because here's the thing. The Dark Knight was so good because of Heath Ledger's performance. I mean, that is why
Yeah.
The Dark Knight is as good as it is. And since his death, The Dark Knight Rises, as fantastic as it is, can't compare to that because, I'm sure The Dark Knight Rises would have been a wholly different film if Heath Ledger had still been alive.
Oh,
we would have been
of
having a
course.
completely different
Absolutely.
conversation.
They wouldn't have ignored him.
Exactly.
Entirely.
So since he's gone, this film, it can't be compared. And I agree. They're both magnificent but separate, and that's just the way it is.
Well, was there any actor in this film who stood out as much as Heath Ledger's Joker did?
I mean, stood out, no.
Oh yeah, the simple answer to that is no.
Yeah, but this is like a much more ensemble cast. Everybody did
Definitely.
their fair share.
Yeah,
They
it's
did
more
a
reliant on
fantastic
everybody.
Yeah,
job.
because
from A to B, everybody
Yeah,
did
because
it.
where Heath stood out and was his best on his own, and when he was alone on screen, that's when he was the best. Whereas Dark Knight Rises, people play off each other, so
Off
it's
each
very
other,
different
yeah.
again in that regard.
Yeah, exactly. Like Anne Hathaway, she's playing Selena
Excellent.
Kyle.
Yes.
Excellent job.
Excellent job.
Great
She's
chemistry. but she's
sexy, she's sleek, and she's deadly. Loved her to death.
To me, it looked like she just had more fun with the role than Michelle Pfeiffer or Halle Berry
Totally.
did.
Oh,
She
yeah.
took it
She
in
just-
a
oh,
different
yeah.
direction, but she also shown like a vulnerability to herself or to her
Yes.
character, which we did not see in the other ones. A more sort
Right,
of
well,
I'm
same, but that
scared,
again
I'm
just comes
doing
back
this.
to Nolan's realism of making this comic book
Realizing
thing.
the story,
Whereas
exactly.
these are not infallible characters. These are characters can be killed. These characters can be beaten. These characters
Can be
are
broken.
human,
Exactly.
and absolutely.
Human characters. Well, into that. Tom Hardy, he's Bane, and his character was fierce.
Yes,
The only
fierce is
thing,
the perfect
the only
word,
thing,
I think.
the only thing about Bane that I personally did not like was his voice. Very hard to understand because he's speaking through a mask the entire time, and they dubbed his voice because we were fortunate to see the prologue.
In front of MI4.
MI4 in December, and that was before they fixed anything. So he was that's exactly what he sounded like. And they fixed it in post later, but still there are points where
Well,
I
do
couldn't understand him.
I
you
thought it
think that
sounded
that's
fine.
just because you're not used to hearing him like that? I mean, we hear Christian Bale growl as Batman, and everyone understands him fine now, but during Batman Begins, it was almost like Spanish.
I mean, but I guess, but at that point, like as a fan, should I have to? Like, should I have to get used to a character voice? I should be able to understand him, and as soon as it gets on screen, right?
No,
like, I'm not reading it. It's not subtitles. I can't read his lines, so they have to be presented to me clearly.
I thought it was fine, but more to the point, I thought what Tom Hardy brought more than voice-wise, what he brought was physicality to the role. I mean, obviously he's still
I have to
beefed
agree.
up.
I have to agree.
He's as big as he was in Warrior. He's as big as he was in Bronson.
Yeah.
He really is just the way he moves on screen. It's slow and it's calculated, but when he decides to fight or when he decides to hit, all bets are off. He
It's
becomes
lights out.
he becomes just this machine of destruction.
And you know what? That's a great point. Like how he brings his body language and everything into the role because he's covered with that mask.
Yeah.
So there's like no facial expression at all.
All he has are the eyes.
All he has are his eyes and his body.
And his
So
body.
Every
So that's-
movement he
yeah.
makes is just so on point and key. Like, and he's smooth. But when he wants to snap a neck, man, it's over. And it's so crazy. At any moment, he can go off and kill anybody in the room.
He's
Vicious and fierce.
very
absolutely.
vicious. Really tough.
So, how did the story from this one stack up against its predecessors?
It was heavy story driven.
Yeah, this one was definitely story
Whereas The
driven.
Dark Knight was very character driven. This one's much more story, going back to its lineage with Batman Begins.
Exactly. Yeah.
I feel.
The Dark Knight Rises is I want to say a direct sequel to Batman Begins because almost, I mean, except for the Harvey Dent storyline, you could really almost not watch The Dark Knight and completely understand what's going on in The Dark Knight Rises
You really
because
could.
it is directly related to the events that occurred in the Batman
I
Begins.
mean,
in Batman
the
Begins.
only thing you would miss out on is the growth of Batman.
Yeah, exactly. As
Exactly.
a man,
Which
and
is a
why-
big deal.
Humongous
Very,
deal.
very true. You should see them all, but in regards to direct plot points, it is very focused on the League of Shadows and Liam Neeson's training of Batman. So
Enough. Not gonna spoil it for you. That's it.
I
But
think that maybe
it
too late.
does bring it full circle. Definitely, it wraps it up really nicely. It definitely makes it more of a trilogy as a whole, as opposed to 3 separate movies. Going back to maybe Lord of the Rings ish. I love it. That's my thing. But yeah.
Well, do you guys think it's time for Chris Nolan to hang up his cape and just be done with the Batman story, or should he continue to just pump him out?
Well, there's this thing. I think Dave and I are in agreement with this. We feel 2 ways. We have the fans' perspective,
Which
and
is
then we
never
have-
stop. Keep giving me Batman. I want
Exactly.
only
Well,
Batman.
always
Give me
more.
one more Batman
Always
every
more.
year. I
Always
want Batman
more.
to fight. I want Batman to fight every person in the DC universe.
Everybody.
I think there's a video game for that.
Yes.
Seriously,
I want it.
as a fan, we never want him to stop. He is a master at making these type of films. However, as an artist, both Dave and myself are musicians, and we can empathize and understand what he's doing. How
Yeah,
he wants
wanting
he wants
to move
leave
on.
now, move on, and try his hand at other things. And I commend him for that. He's given us 3 great films. We thank him, and we are Nolanites. We will follow him to whatever.
He wants to direct. Christopher Nolan brings you Hello Kitty Island Adventure. I'm there.
I'm there.
Sorry, I'm in line.
there. I'm in
At
line
midnight
with my Hello Kitty
t-shirt.
ears.
I'm gone.
Doing it.
I
I
am
got
so
this.
on
I'll bring
for
the
it.
stickers.
Yeah.
Yes.
Team Nolan. Absolutely.
Nice. All right, so bottom line, what do you guys think?
Well, I mean, no shocker here. Full price, guys. It can't be anything but full price. This movie is phenomenal. This movie is unmissable. It is worth your time. It is worth your money. In fact, I think you should check it out in the IMAX because it's truly just a a remarkable film.
70 minutes of IMAX footage.
Yes, and I'm going to say this. If it's not nominated for Best Picture, then I'm be more convinced that the Academy is just filled with talentless hacks. Sorry, because that's just... it'll be unforgivable.
I disagree.
What?
I'm kidding.
I was about to slap you.
Full prize, guys, without question. Dave's point is very valid. I do think this is the best film of the year. I do not say that lightly. It is a gorgeous, beautiful film. Watch it. I think anybody over the age of 12 or 13 can watch the movie and truly enjoy it. It's heavy, but it's
a tough
good.
film, but it's good.
It's good. It's real good. And it speaks to so many things. It's just, watch it.
The politics.
Watch it. Watch it.
Well, that wraps up this episode of The Box Office. For the full review, check out our blog.
And join us next week when we watch The Watch.
Oh.
That's right. Ben Stiller, Vince Vaughn, Jonah Hill, Richard Ayoade.
Winning.
Excited.
Yes, that's
Winning.
that's gonna be awesome. Rock on. Yeah.
By winning. Like I win here and win there. Also, Facebook. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, please.
new one. The new one.
Any questions, comments, or concerns, the email is always open.
I do actually read
He does. He reads them.
Every single one.
It's great.
Look at these questions. And until next time, guys.
See you at the theater.
Oh, hang on. We didn't tell him if Batman died.
I still got love in the streets. It's the D.R.